Hi, I'm Bunny Cakes and welcome back to my channel. Today I woke up and my power was out. And apparently the cable company was doing some sort of repair. I don't know the details. I just know I woke up and there was no power. Um, they had apparently called early this morning and told us. I just wasn't awake for it. And as I woke up, I was hungry, as you tend to be when you wake up first thing in the morning. Um, Sorry, my cat's playing at my feet. Um, and it reminded me of a time several years ago when I was a newly diagnosed diabetic and our power got knocked out by this really big storm and we didn't have any power for a week. And I had a really tough time eating the way I needed to because we couldn't cook and we didn't really have a whole lot of healthy and especially low carb things for me to eat during that time. Um, so I thought that same thing is going to happen to me likely soon as and in the future as I'm eating healthy to lose weight. And I thought that it would probably happen to some of you out there as well. So I came up with a list of at least somewhat healthy foods that you can maybe keep around the house, especially since, at least in the US, it's getting to be spring, and that means there's a lot of storms, and in like the southern states and in the tornado regions, it's big storm season, which means you can be without power for who knows how long. Um, so one of the top things that I like to keep around, and we eat this a lot, even just regularly, is tuna. You can get it canned or pouched. They have a lot of really awesome flavors now in the pouched tunas. Like I found a Thai seasoned one and a smoked, and there's barbecue, and there's like lemon pepper, and you can get canned and pouched salmon as well, and they also do a lot of the flavors. You can even get the little packs where you get like 3 or 4 like 3-ounce cans, and they have like little crackers that come with them. Which brings me to my next thing. With your tuna, it's not going to be super filling to eat just a pouch of tuna with a fork or whatever, so you're probably going to want crackers or bread. Um, so look for like whole wheat crackers or whole grain crackers, um, whole wheat or whole grain bread, whole wheat or whole grain pitas or lavash, or even tortillas. A lot of places have whole wheat options now that are really healthy. And I know that if I can get them in my teeny tiny small town, then most of you have access to the things that I have access to, and probably even more. Um, Another thing that you can get that's not necessarily super healthy is pork rinds. I know I love them. They're not necessarily low calorie, but they are low carb, and you also may need to watch out for the sodium content in them. There's also nuts and protein drinks, because those don't have to be refrigerated until they're open. And a single protein drink can serve as like a meal or a snack. Dry cereal. This can be healthy or it cannot be healthy. It depends on what cereal you're eating. Like if you get some of the Special K or like Fiber One, it's probably going to be a lot healthier than if you're eating Fruit Loops. um, Another thing you can get are they have a lot of like pre-cooked and pre-packaged quinoa and rice and couscous and pastas, which aren't necessarily low carb, but they are easy to reach for. And if you get like the brown rice or like whole grain stuff like the quinoa or barley or whatever, it is going to have a lot of nutrition in it. Another thing you can reach for are like canned um, chickpeas or garbanzo beans, whatever they're called in your area. and you can make yourself some quick hummus. You can always grab leftovers out of your refrigerator and eat them before they go bad. Um, Other things you can get are like pudding and jello and um, well, probably not yogurt. Well, maybe on the first day you can reach for yogurt. There's always vegetables and for cooking options. I know most people in the US now probably have electric stoves and ovens, so cooking in that sense isn't necessarily an option. That said, as Americans, a good deal of us also have grills, whether they're charcoal or gas or whatever. Many of us have grills that don't require electricity, and you can always grab some meat out of your refrigerator or freezer and throw it on the grill along with some vegetables or whatever, and make yourself a really nice, healthy meal while you don't have any uh, power or electricity. You can even, and a lot of people don't think about this, you can even like use your pots and pans on the grill and use your grill as a stove and make like breakfast and lunch or whatever, just like you would if you were cooking on your electric stove or range or whatever you call it where you are. Um, so yeah, those are some healthy choices that you can get when there's no power, or say you're going camping, or you just want to have some snack ideas around the house that are quick and easy for those times where you don't feel like cooking. Because I know a lot of the time I don't feel like making anything for breakfast, so I will grab a fiber bar or a bowl of cereal, or if there is something quick, easy, and unhealthy, then I'm probably gonna grab it. Um, but like when I know there are healthy things in there for me to eat, like right now, um, I've got some cucumbers in there, and I've been thinking about those all day. Um, I've got some low sodium, low fat lunch meat in there that I will probably eat with my cucumbers. Um, those are things that you can definitely also use in these situations, especially like if you have quick, easy access to a cooler to keep your lunch meat cold, um, and ice to keep your cooler cold, um, and stuff like that. Though you also have to think about the fact that if the power's out at your house, um, does the store have power? Because I know in my area, a lot of the time, if my power's out, the closest stores to me don't have power. Like, they don't have full power. They will have, they do have generators that kick on during business hours that keep the refrigeration units running, and they can run the cash registers. But most of the time, they do not power the systems that allow them to accept credit or debit cards or food stamp cards or anything like that, and they can't run checks. So unless you have actual cash in hand, you're not going to be able to go to the store, and you're in my area. You're also not going to be able to go to the bank and the ATM to get any money because they also don't have power. And I know my situation is kind of unique for most of you because I live in a teeny tiny town, and basically if I don't have power, nobody has power. Um, but if you live in a bigger place, you might be able to just go to like another branch of your bank in a different like subsection of your town or city and get money. So those are things you have to think about as well. I know ever since we had that big storm that knocked out our power for a week, we have done our best to keep like an emergency supply box where we will um, chunk in like several cans of tuna and some sleeves of crackers and um, medication and stuff like that, and like a first aid kit and silverware, actually, because you never know what might happen. And like for instance, where I live, there's one room in the middle of the house, and say the rest of our house got caved in and we were stuck in there. Well, that's where our emergency box is. And as long as we're not severely injured with the stuff we have in there, we could survive for a couple of days. I even keep a couple of cans of cat food in there because when we go storm shelter mode, we bring the cat too. And that way, if for some reason we were all trapped in that little space, it would be uncomfortable, but at least we wouldn't have to worry about like the fact that I'm a diabetic and my blood sugar might crash if I don't eat for 2 days, and then I go into a coma and die, and then they're stuck in there with um you know. But yeah, so these are some good snack ideas. Post down below if you have any healthy snack ideas, or you disagree with some of the things I've picked. Um, when I mentioned the pudding and jello, I also wanted to say that it is probably best to go sugar free when you can because they're low calorie. But I have seen some interesting options at Walmart recently where they have like chia seeds thrown in, and I have a couple of boxes of that. I just haven't made it yet. It seems interesting. So that's a healthy sugary food. They're trying. Um, so yeah, post suggestions down below, post disagreements. What would you like to have on hand if you are in a situation where like your power goes out and you need to eat for a day or a week or more? Um, Also follow me on all my social media. It's linked down below. Um, like and subscribe, and check out my other channel. There will be a button up here, and check out these videos over here. I hope you'll like those too. Um, so remember to be strong, smile when you can, and always take care of yourself.